Hello and welcome to the Agile Matrix Podcast with Tammy. And they may be asking, what is the aim of this podcast? Let me put to you with this short story. I'm sure we remember the character Bruce Lee, that famous martial artist that died in 1973. He was a phenomenal martial artist and the actual founder of the boxing style called Jeet Kune Do. Now, he started out as a student of Wing Chun under Ip Man. But over the years, as he grew as a fighter, as a competitor, he found out that even though Wing Chun was really good, if anytime he either fought to someone that is a different fighting style, he would learn, spar, learn the techniques of the other person, so learn karate, judo, and other fighting styles. And over the years, he came to the conclusion that even though Wing Chun was very good and all the other fighting styles were really good, they had a lot of fluff in them. Because when you look at it, according to his words, the aim of every fighting style was to end their fight as quickly as possible. But all these fighting styles had a lot of fluff and had a lot of form and character. And they realized actually that if you stripped out some of the unimportant parts, like waste, you then are left with the essential fighting style. And he put this together along with a certain mentality, and he put that and he formed Jeet Kune Do. So the idea behind the Agile Matrix podcast and Agile Matrix really is that there are many techniques and frameworks that exist in Agile space, and they all address different areas of the Agile problem or of the problem of value delivery. So the Agile Matrix, the idea is to bring the best ideas of all of them together under one umbrella. Because when you think of it really, when you deliver a service or you receive a service, so for example, if you're an iPhone user, you know that sometime in September, Apple will release a new iPhone. Are you really particularly bothered about whether they use Kanban or Scrum or Safe or Less or the Nexus? What you're concerned about is that your phone arrives on time, it works as it should, and that you're happy with your purchase, right? So that's the idea behind the Agile Matrix podcast, is to come up with ideas and techniques and discussions and look at how we've delivered value using a mixture of these frameworks and techniques, and even some new ones that people don't know much about. I mean, we're very aware that a lot of us know about Scrum and Kanban, but there are other techniques that exist in the Agile space. People are trying. Remember this, and I say this in the end of my coaching courses, that the Agile idea, it's a movement that is still moving, it's evolving consistently. Why? Because we're in a complex space. Things are changing and our methods must adapt to meet the changing conditions that we're in. If not, we will not be able to deliver value to our customers. So that's the idea behind the Agile Matrix. So welcome to this podcast. I'm committing myself to actually doing 2 episodes a week. I'm going to do my best to keep to that, but this is my first episode. So let me know what you think, and let me know and get back to me and give me feedback so I can know that, you like what you're hearing and you like to see more from me. So thank you very much, and see you in the episode of the Agile Matrix podcast with Tammy. Cheers all. So welcome back to the Agile Matrix podcast with Tammy. And today I'm going to be thinking and sharing with you about the Scrum Master. So who is the Scrum Master? Very interesting, very popular role. But who is the Scrum Master? I usually like to say arguably the most important role in the whole Scrum equation. Why? Because as the name goes, Scrum Master indicates one that is a master of the framework Scrum. Master enough to coach, teach, and get a team working that way, as well as coach and teach the organization, influence the organization to follow that way of working, to ensure that the team and the organization can optimize their value delivery effort. In other words, he or she helps the organization and team deliver value to their customers, whether the customers be internal or external customers. The Scrum Master helps the team be the best that they can be using Scrum to deliver value to either of these 2 sectors, in other words, internal or external. Now, why is Scrum Master so important in my eyes? Well, it's putting a team together some work, getting the proposal for value some work, but the pretty much the person that helps the team deliver effectively, efficiently, and reliably is the Scrum Master. Of course, with support of the team, but the Scrum Masters, like the Scrum Guide talks about, the Scrum Master being accountable for the team's effectiveness using Scrum. So that's why I believe the Scrum Master is very important. So who is the Scrum Master? Who is the Scrum Master? So when you look at it in Scrum, we have 3 accountabilities or roles, and these are the Scrum Master, the product owner, and then the developers. So the Scrum Master, like I said before, is the person that actually is tasked with ensuring that the team is effective, right, in the use of the Scrum framework. So according to the Scrum Guide, it says the Scrum Master is accountable for establishing Scrum as defined in the Scrum Guide, and also accountable for the Scrum team's effectiveness, right, and obviously effectiveness using Scrum. Okay, so when you look at it, the Scrum Master, to be effective, right, there are a couple of ideas you have to understand as a Scrum Master. One, the Scrum Master is a servant leader, or as we've come to understand even better today, Scrum Master is a serving leader. So he serves others, not just himself or herself. Doesn't lead by the title. Is a leadership that endures, helps the people develop and perform as highly as possible. Selfless management of team members, promoting genuine team ownership, and then importantly, harnessing the collective intelligence and power of a team. Like we say, a team is more than some of its members. So the Scrum Master is that person that helps to harness that collective power of the team. It's a really powerful individual. And then also, the Scrum Master, importantly, stimulates empowerment and transparency. So also creates that environment that allows the team members to be the best possible version of themselves. I'm sure everybody's used to the Scrum Master being an impediment and blocker. But really, when you think of it, and according to the Scrum Guide, it shows us that the Scrum Master role doesn't just want to dissolve impediments, but to actually coach the team to be able to dissolve the impediments themselves. So the Scrum Master really is an embodiment of all the aspects of Scrum that team members have to look at and imbibe. So the Scrum Master is a walking Scrum mirror. Let's just put it that way. That sounds funny, doesn't it? But that's the truth. The Scrum Master is a walking Scrum mirror. And very importantly, when you look at the Scrum Master role, you're looking at someone that is, like I said, conversant in Scrum, enough to coach and teach a team and an organization, and then also one that, how do I put it? So in Scrum, we talk a lot about transparency, inspection, and adaptation. So the Scrum Master creates an environment where transparency is natural, where it works, and also coaches the team and the organization to be able to inspect properly and encourages and coaches them with the best possible adaptations so that the team can continuously improve. So AKA, or too long didn't read, the Scrum Master creates an environment where continuous improvement is the norm. Now, fortunately, the Scrum framework has events that allows the Scrum Master to actually act this out. So you have the daily Scrum, where the team inspects and adapt their progress towards the sprint goal. You have the retrospective, the sprint retrospective, where the team inspects and adapt their processes to get better. You have the sprint review, where the increment is inspected and the team are able to adapt the product backlog. So these events provide opportunities for the Scrum Master to feed into the organization and team the idea of continuous improvement via the fact that there are things to inspect, the artifacts to inspect. So they bring about transparency. The inspection brings information, and then he encourages and coaches the team on how to adapt to the information and then get better. So basically, the Scrum Master is that catalyst, really, that coaches the team and organization to be better using Scrum, thereby, increasing the level of effectiveness, efficiency, and quite importantly, the reliability of the team. Because when you think of it, in the midst of all that the team is doing, it forms a part of organizational objectives. So to the team might be all in all, but to the organization is a part of what they do. So if the team is effective and efficient, it means also the team can be relied on, aka can be reliable, which is a very important part. And the Scrum Master does a lot of facilitation as well. So he facilitates events, but we also facilitate conversations, facilitate improvement. It's not just, like I heard someone say once, the Scrum Master is not a meeting secretary. No, it's the role is a lot bigger than that, right? Because when you think of it, the Scrum Master will help and enable others to achieve their objectives. The Scrum Master would actually play a neutral role in facilitating these conversations. The Scrum Master will support everyone to do their best thinking and practices, and also promote collaboration and try to achieve synergy in the organization and within the team, and then provide charismatic authority. So you see, it's very important to note that the Scrum Master actually doesn't have any executive authority, but the Scrum Master leads from behind because he is a coach, or she is a coach, whichever one of them. So it's very important. So, and that's why the Scrum Master role is very, very important. It's almost too important to ignore. Like I said, there are events, right? And the events are the sprint itself, the sprint retrospective, the daily scrum, the sprint plan, and the sprint review. Now, the Scrum Master also does a lot of teaching. Why? Because Scrum Master has to bring the team to the knowledge of the framework, right? And who is a teacher? Someone who helps others learn new things. So teaching is about imparting knowledge or skill, or instructing someone as to how to do something. Now, like we said in the Scrum Guide, the Scrum Master is responsible for ensuring Scrum is understood and enacted. The Scrum Masters do this by ensuring that the Scrum team adheres to the Scrum theory, to its practices, and to its rules. And part of the way the Scrum Master does this by observing the team, by looking at them in their events, but also teaching. So the Scrum Master is a very, very, very important role in Scrum. There's so much more I can say about this, but this is a first taster. And as you can see, I'm new to this podcast thing. So I will see you in the next episode. Now, if you want to get in touch with me, you can look out for me on LinkedIn. My name is Tim Tokwe-Awere, or you can check out my website, the Agile Matrix. And we can have a chat. You can drop your questions in the podcast app that you're using, and we'll pick up from there. So thank you very much for joining the Agile Matrix Podcast with Amy. I will see you in the next episode.